Hey friends, it's Rachel with the Ponds Farmhouse. Are you getting ready for your Easter decorating? I've been working on several different projects, and today what I'm going to be sharing is how you can use your scrap fabrics to create lovely Easter eggs. And I'm going to be doing two different styles of eggs. So it's going to be really fun, and I think you're going to really enjoy it. I'm actually using these oversized eggs, but you can use any size that you choose to do your designs. I have several different fabrics here that I'm going to be working with. We're going to be cutting these out. I've got ribbon to help accent it, and even some little beads that we're going to be putting on the Easter eggs so that they look really cute. So if this sounds like something that you're interested in, then stay tuned. I'm going to be starting here in just a minute. I'm going to bring that camera down so you can see exactly what I'm doing. Okay, we're going to be making two types of scrap fabric Easter eggs here today. This first one is actually using the styrofoam eggs, and what we're doing is we're actually inserting these panels of fabric into the egg and then putting some rickrack on it, a little decorative touch here. I've actually left this one tied at the top with an extra ribbon because we're going to be hanging this one. So I'll be showing you how I'm going to be using these decorative eggs. Another type of scrap fabric egg that we're going to be doing is decoupage. And this is one that I just finished using the same fabric all over. Put a little decorative little bead right here. And let's see if I can get this where you can see it good. And then I tied a coordinating fabric around it to give it, you know, a really cute and fun look. So these two are the two types of eggs we're going to be working on here today, and I'm going to show you exactly how to do these. They're both very easy. It just depends on your style. I will say that the decoupage eggs have so many options. You can do so many different things with them because you can use multiple fabrics on one egg. There's just a lot that you can do. So let's just get started and show you how we're putting these eggs together, and then you can see some options here. Okay, the very first thing that we're doing is cutting the fabric. And I'm cutting the strips approximately an inch wide. And I'm just cutting two lengths of the fabric at a time. You can, you could choose to cut, oh, okay, I thought I cut the fabric. But you could choose to do more than one at a time if you wanted to. I don't know why that didn't go through. I was hitting it pretty hard. Let's see. Okay, there we go. Get that. It's not going to matter as long as we. Okay, there we go. Now I'm going to slide this down, get another little run down here, get this whole fabric cut out. For these large styrofoam eggs, we need approximately 5.5 inches to go around the eggs. And oh, I see what's happening. I'm cutting some of this ruler off. We don't want that. All right, so so what I'm going to do, get this. That's why it's not cutting too good. Let's do it again, and this time I'll be more careful. We're going to lay the ruler down. Let's see, I want to get about an inch. I'm just putting it on my board here so I can kind of see where that would be. I'm going to put this, get it pretty even. And then run this along the edge, not over the top of it. We don't want it over the top. Okay, so now we're going to do another one down here. If you had a yardstick, this might actually work a little bit more efficiently. But at any rate, whoops, got a little wide there, but that's okay. We'll just trim that right down. I think I'll use my scissors for that, just get it a little bit more straight. These do not have to be perfect because, and we're going to cut this selvage off of it here. Okay. All right. Now, what we want to do is go ahead and measure these out. And let's see, I don't know if you can see where I'll just do it right here in the middle since you may not be able to see it. Let's see, let me get this one cut off here. Okay. But what we need is about 5.5 inches, which is approximately right here. Whoops, is that right? No, I'm sorry, that's not right. Not for the first one. Okay, let me double check myself here. We need, okay, that's the first one. I don't know why I'm getting this confused. Okay, this first one's about 14 inches, okay? So we're going to cut the first one's about 14 inches. And let's see, there's another one at about 14 inches. We need at least 4 of these. Okay, 14 right here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and then we need a couple more that long. So here we go, 14. Okay, let's see if we've got enough now. So what we're going to do is we're going to do Mod Podge here. And we're just going to start at the very top. And I'm going to start along this little seam line here. That way I can see exactly, where I'm working. And so we're going to go ahead and put that, get the glue on it pretty heavy because we want it to stick really good here. And I'm going about halfway around just so I can get it done here where I want it. Okay. And so I'm going to take this first piece of pink fabric. We're going to put it in, and I'm going to use a little straight pin just to hold it into place. And then I'm going to pull this around as taut as I can get it because that's what's going to help it to stay flat. Just pull it taut, and then we're going to flip it like this, and we're going to add more glue going the other direction. Just right along this seam here that's in the styrofoam. Go ahead and put a little bit on your end here. Okay, and then we're just going to pull that taut and pull it right up to this. Now you see I'm overlapping a little bit, and that's okay, but I really don't want that excess there, so I'm going to cut it off. You want to overlap slightly, but not so much that it gets all built up there. Okay, so now we've got our first round on, and now we're going to do the same thing, but we're going to do it from the other side. So we're going to put glue kind of down the center of this area. I will say I probably should have on gloves because this is going to get a little messy. As we put it on, I'll have sticky fingers, but that's okay. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this pin out, make sure I get a little bit of that glue on top of that. And let's see, make sure I've got one of the right length. We're going to go ahead and put this one right on top. Press it down, put that pin right back in, and then pull it taut until you get it down to where the other side is. Now what I've done here is I've just put the glue to about that point. So I'm going to flip it over, add the glue or Mod Podge. You could do glue or Mod Podge with this, but I'm using Mod Podge because it tends to work it's a little less messy, and it works great for adhering fabric or napkins, anything like that for decoupage. So I'm going to put that on there like that. And again, I've cut them just a little bit too long, so I'm going to cut that off right there and press it down. I don't know that I put enough glue underneath it, so I'm going to double check myself. Better safe than sorry, because you don't want it coming apart. Okay, now we can get it back on there. All right, so now we're ready to do the next side. And what I like to do is basically kind of keep it just exactly like I'm doing it. So I'm going to start like here, coming across. Same length of fabric. So we're going to start right here at the top again. Maybe kind of go around that. Go down this side, all the way through the bottom. And then you'll notice we're doing it here, and then we're going to be on this side of it coming around. So I'm just going to go ahead and put a little bit of glue there and down here. See if I can get in there to all that without moving my fingers. Okay, so I'm going to take the pin out once again. Add this fabric here. Press it down really good. We can put the pin right back in. Starts to get harder as you put more layers and the glue begins to start drying. So this one's really, I kind of went too wide on this one, so it's really covering it much more quickly than my last one did. Okay, we're going to flip it over, bring this around as taut as we can get it. Oop, that's the problem, going the wrong way. All right, so now we are back up again, and so the 14 inches was just a little too much, but we can just get rid of that. We'll add some more glue right in here. And we're going to press it down. You can always go back over the top of it just a little bit. This one, I cut this. This is the one I messed up on and cut it a little wider. So it's, as you can see, it's covering a whole lot more than the first one did. So, okay, I'm going to do this one. I can't tell. Let's see. Now this one. Here we go. This one's the right length. Go ahead and add the ribbon to our decoupage egg. It's not 100% dry, but I think it's close enough. And what I'm going to do, I'm using a coordinating little sweet little gingham check here. And what we're going to do is I'm finding the middle of my piece of fabric here, and I've got it right here. And then I'm just going to put the egg here. And let's just, for safety measures, let's go ahead and put a pin in it. That way we can kind of keep it where it needs to be. And we'll push it in really good. There we go. Now, okay, let's see. See if I can hold him up like that. Okay. Can you still see me? Okay. What we're going to do is we're just going to take this ribbon, and I'm just wanting to roll around on me. That's okay. You can't quite tell what I'm doing with these long tails, but I'm just going to go ahead and pull this really taut around the egg. Get it down a little bit lower, a little more even. And you could do anything you wanted to here, but this is how I'm planning to use mine. I'm just going to do a little bow tie here. Another styrofoam egg, and what we want to do to begin with is we want to use a X-Acto knife to cut into the styrofoam, and this one has a nice little perfect line all the way around it, so I'm just going to follow that with the X-Acto knife, and we're just going to go cut into the styrofoam the depth of the blade. I think you need at least that much depth as you go around. So you just want to be sure that you're cutting it all the way in. And as you go, I just kind of go back just a little bit, make sure it went all the way through. And like I said, this has got that perfect line for you, so it's easy to follow. And these are cutting really nicely. I've got a good blade on my X-Acto knife. If you don't have a good blade, you probably want to replace it so that you can cut through these real quick and easy. Okay, once you get all the way around, you're going to be ready to do the other side. And there's a couple of things that you can do here to get that line exactly straight. The first thing I do is I take a Sharpie and I've got glue all over my fingers, so if you're wondering what's wrong with me. Okay, so I'm looking at it straight on here, and you can see, both sides of the line as it goes down. So I'm just going to eyeball it and go like, there's the center, and there's the center going that way. Then I'm going to flip it over, and I'm going to do the same thing. Center it up, looking like this is going out the same amount as that's going out, and the same on this side. Then what you can do is you can put a rubber band on it. And the rubber band just helps you as a guide. So you put the rubber band, mine's not wanting to cooperate today, but put it where it's covering both sides, just like that. And once you do that, you've pretty much got, whoops, this one's wanting to roll on me. Okay, let's get it straight. Okay. And then kind of look at it and see, does that look like it's about right? And if it is, go ahead and draw your line next to the rubber band. Now, don't worry if it's not exact, but you want it to be as close as possible to an even distribution on your... Okay, we got this side. Going to do the same thing. Okay, see? Now you got a line. And what you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and do the same thing over this black line with your X-Acto knife. Cut into it. Go as deep as you can. fabric here that we did before. And this time we're going to need 2 panels of each coordinating color. So I'm looking at this and I want it to be long enough. So I'm just, again, kind of eyeballing it. And we're going to go ahead and cut this strip of fabric right along this line. Now that's going to be enough for 2. For the 2 sides. So you can fold it over if you'd like, just to make sure you get it even. Again, it doesn't have to be exact, just as long as it's enough to cover the sides. All right, so we've got the first one. We're going to take our egg, and you can see we've got the 2 lines cut. Okay, so we're going to put this fabric over the top of it, and you just want to make sure it's covering on both sides. And you want to start in the center. Now, what I did was I just turned my X-Acto knife over to where I'm not cutting with that sharp blade. And then I'm just going to press the fabric into that cut styrofoam that we did earlier. I kind of pull from, kind of pull it this way. Now, hold it real tight when you do that because it'll slip if you're not careful. But go ahead and get it in there as tight as you can. Okay? And then flip it and go to the other side and do the same thing. You want to kind of work across from each other. You don't want to just work up one side and down the other. Go ahead and work across from each other. Okay, so I got that. So now I'm going to go back over here, working up. Make sure you're holding the fabric really tightly as you go so that you're only pushing in from one side and not pulling out from the other. It's real easy to push it so hard on this side that then it pulls out from the other side. But you want to just get that in there as tight as you can. And see, this is already wanting to pull out because I wasn't holding it firmly enough. But just go ahead and work it in. Okay, now we're going to go down to this bottom side and do the same thing, kind of finishing it off. If you get too much or it doesn't feel like it's going in right, you can always pull it back out and start over. But this one's going pretty smoothly. Okay, let me go back. I'm going to get back on this side just to be safe. I feel like I'm going too far on that one. Okay, I'm feeling like I did not cut this one exactly straight. So I'm going to go right in here and just kind of make sure I've got a good cut there. Feels like it's wanting to bunch up on me for some reason. So we're going to just double check it. Give it a nice little cut there. And then we can go back and get started again. Yeah, see, now it's fitting. It's working itself in really nicely. Okay. Okay, now what we want to do is go in here and cut off all this excess fabric. Cut it as close to the egg as you possibly can without pulling it out. Okay, get rid of all that. Okay, now we're going to finish tucking it in, and we're going to tuck, tuck. Get it in there really good. If there's a little tiny bit sticking out, it's not the end of the world because we are going to be covering that, but you just want it to be pretty much completely covered. That one got a little bit of excess fabric there. So let's see, maybe. Yeah, see, I didn't get as close as I should have there. All right, so now, see how easy that is just to tuck it in when there's not so much. Okay, now we're going to do the same thing on the opposite side. So we got this one here. We're going to do the same thing over here. Now, fabric, and I bought the cute little gingham like I showed you earlier, and we're just going to, we want to go ahead and the first thing I'm going to do is cut off that selvage, because I don't want to use any of that in my Easter egg. So we just cut that real quickly. Okay, get rid of that. And then once again, this is just about the perfect size. You just lay it on there, make sure that you feel like it's going to cover, and then cut that length off. This is pretty easy because I've got that check to go by. Then we're going to split this in half. Let's see, where's the halfway mark? Right there. Okay. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go to those opposite sides, and we're going to go ahead and start putting this in. So bear with me, because this, I know that this is getting boring because you don't really want to watch someone tuck fabric into an Easter egg all day. So I'm going to speed this up and let you just enjoy seeing it come together. And then I'll show you how we're going to trim it out. Okay, now what we're doing is we just want to cover up these seams with some rickrack, and I'm using hot glue, just placing it right in the seam, and then securing it with, covering over it with the rickrack ribbon. And it's just quick and easy. You just want to cover each side. And what I'm doing here is I have actually left, extra ribbon here. So this piece is a little bit longer. I'm going to start it right in the center at the bottom, and then work out from there so that I've got an even amount of excess ribbon when I get to the top. So just fill in those little creases there with the ribbon. And then once we get it over to the top, I'll show you how we're going to pull all this together and trim it out. So just stay tuned. Okay, now let those dry just a minute. And then what I'm going to do is just basically nothing but tie a little, but I mean, not even a knot, just tie it one time. Try to do it so they can stay together here. And there we go. We got that tied. And then that's going to give us something to hang this with. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and put, let's see, put a little drop right here. And we're going to add this cute little flower to the bottom of it. Like I said, these are going to be hanging, so you're going to see that possibly from above. So isn't that cute? It's going to be adorable. Let's look at it with the purple one. Look at the little purple one we did. Aren't those so cute? They're just perfect. And then we've got our cute little bows. These are going to look adorable with them. And here's one that's in blue and white. So we're going to have all kinds of fun colors here. So I'm going to keep working on these, and then I'll show you what they all look like at the very end.